guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackie and Judd on SKOR North and SKORNorth.com.
Write it down. You like writing things down. Write this down.
Write them down. It's like a personal contract with ourselves. Write that down.
The only show in America dumb enough to put statistics next to our predictions every single week. We do it on Mackie and Judd. We do it on Purple Daily. It's Write That Down. You may be wondering, where is the sports dad, Judd Zulgad, this week? Judd never takes days off. He's a warrior. Well, you know, people like raise their eyebrows. Why is Judd off? And that's because he works all the time, more than anyone we know. But he suffered a death in the family. Him and his wife are with family this week. Judd's brother-in-law passed away due to cancer. And so send your thoughts to Judd. We're thinking about Judd, his family, and he's hoping to be back in the mix for Thursday shows, or if not Thursday, then Friday. So he did send in his predictions via satellite from a hotel room. So did he do a read? Because he did a live read on Purple Daily. Did he mix in a live read here on this one?
Not for traditional, no. I don't believe there was one. I went back and made sure the audio was good and listened to the most of them. I don't think there's one on this one, no.
Okay. So we'll get to Judd via satellite here. Before we get started with the accountability session, a shout out to our friends over at Dennis Kirk. It is riding season right now. And if you like to get out and have the wind blow through your hair, whatever it is that you ride, a motorcycle, an ATV, a UTV, dirt bike, maybe you're looking ahead to snowmobile season, you masochist. DennisKirk.com has over 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories, all the top brands with the most stock available for all brands compared to their closest competitors. Same-day shipping and free shipping on orders over $89. This is a great place to stock up on parts, accessories, apparel, you name it. DennisKirk.com. That's DennisKirk.com. Okay, here's how Write That Down works. If you are new, it's 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs on the show. And if you want to be a guest listener participant like Jay, you can send in a request to Declan through the SKOR North app, and we'll get you scheduled for some time during the summer months here. So, okay, let's get to the accountability session. Dex.
Wow. All right.
This one's from a month ago, and I just missed it coming off the board. I think it's a home run because Judd had this like at the beginning of the hockey season that Brock Faber would finish top 3 in Calder voting, and he did.
Yep. He did.
He was a finalist.
When did you say you had the date of when he made this prediction?
It was definitely like either before the season or right at the beginning of the season.
Then even better. Like I would say if he had made this like with a month to go, I would have said, I wouldn't probably call it a home run. But yes, if he said this early, oh yeah, absolutely. Touchdown.
This was definitely definitely in 2023 he made that prediction. Okay, I had 3 things come off the board. I said Cat would make an All-NBA team this season, but he redeemed himself last night by knocking down a bunch of 3-pointers and showing up to the series for the first time. I said a celebrity or a non-Minnesota athlete would be at Target Center for, I guess it would have been, game 2 a few nights ago. And there's a few examples. For a minute, I was trying to twist Judd's arm. Darnell Mooney, he's like a number 2, number 3 wide receiver. I was trying to convince Judd, Darnell Mooney, 1,000-yard receiver a couple years ago.
Oh, boy.
But then I ran into Greg Oden in the bowels of Target Center. Greg Oden was at game 2, I think supporting his 2007 Ohio State teammate Mike Conley.
Sure. Yeah.
So Greg Oden definitely checks this box.
Oh, I can hear the sports dad spitting on this prediction to a degree from afar, being like, I don't know if we can count these guys. But you said also non-Minnesota athlete.
Yeah, we were sitting by each other, and he was very much like giving me the side eye for Darnell Mooney. But then Greg Oden came into play later in the night, and he's like, okay, I'll give you Greg Oden. He's a former, number 2 overall pick or whatever. So, and then I said, by the end of the Write That Down season, MJF will have signed a new contract with AEW. And we didn't really know until he showed up because he was kind of making it seem like his contract was up, but he finally shows up to their last pay-per-view, and he's It's back in AEW.
Awesome promo. He had the Triple H 2002 jean. Almost not. I wouldn't call it a Canadian tuxedo. It's like it's got the jean look and the jean jacket. He had the open shirt, looking just like the game, and even took a shot at Vince McMahon during the promo. MJF, AEW has been struggling a bit, and heck, they actually might be players for Becky Lynch now, which is pretty wild. But getting MJF back is big for them. They need him. Like, they've been struggling for the last year, and he is without a doubt their like marquee star in my opinion.
He did get an AEW tattoo on his leg, and I'm wondering if he's going to have to get that removed in a couple of years when he shows up to WrestleMania, or if he's just going to leave it.
Or he's at SummerSlam here in 2 years,
Yeah. Okay, listeners, Alex said the Wolves would pick up 2 technical fouls in Game 1 against the Mavericks to help set the tone. Last night, Rudy got a tech last night. They plowed over Luka at one point. They were very physical last night. It took them like a week into the series to finally get physical. And then Gavin said Anthony Edwards would make an All-NBA team this year. Second team All-NBA. Let's go. Busy week for Dex. We'll start with the bad. You said the Wolves would beat the Mavs by double digits in the first game. KG would show up to the second game. And Minneapolis would get a pay-per-view, a WWE pay-per-view between now and the 2025 Royal Rumble. I think all of those are filled now. I guess if it changes, we can revisit this.
Yeah, have they announced the 25 Rumble date? Or location? I don't know if they did, and it's not happening. Like they would have, they would have given that. They would have made that announcement before making a SummerSlam 2 years in the making prediction. But I think everything when I made this like a few weeks back, I think everything was booked through Survivor Series.
Okay.
Like all their most of their other ones. I don't know what their December pay-per-view is, even if they do one. But you can probably take this off the board.
If this changes, we can revisit.
Raw is here in like a couple months. I think it's coming to the X. So
yeah, excited for that. Definitely excited for that. You said the Twins would have at least a 3-game winning streak by this week's. Write that down. All they do is streak.
The Dex Plan 3.0 hit officially yesterday.
Oh, did we?
With 2 games to spare, the Dex 3.0 plan of 6-4 and a split with the Royals has officially hit. So we have 2 games in hand left, but 6 wins already since the National Series. So 2 of my 3 Dex plans have gone even better, and then according to plan, 1 did not go so well. But we won't.
I heard that they print out the Dex plan every time you have a new one. They just put it on that whiteboard outside the clubhouse.
Yeah, I think
next to the lineup card every day.
Maybe that's why I've yet to really get an embracement from Griffin Jacks yet. Like maybe he just has a tweet just kind of sitting there in the locker of like, this is the idiot that said I shouldn't be on the playoff roster, as he's just mowing down opponents.
Oh, have you avoided him because you said
I've avoided a little bit actually. So I have it written down. I want to ask him about his curveball because he's throwing a curveball this year. He didn't throw one last year, and it's been really good pitch. He doesn't throw it a ton, but like it's been really good. So I have it written down in like my spreadsheet notes of ask Griffin Jacks about the curveball. And I will say there's a little bit of hesitation being like, is he not going to want to talk to me?
See, yeah,
he has to know. Like, I don't think this is even coming from a conceited, like he had to know about that clip last year.
I'm sure. So, yeah.
At least some self-consciousness about it.
They don't live in a cave.
No.
You are now running into the conundrum of when you're on a microphone every day slinging takes and opinions, and then when you're also like a beat writer or a beat podcaster in your case, and you're going into their workspace and locker room and clubhouse and interacting, you start thinking about, have I ever completely savaged that person on any digital platform?
Yep. So I will report back when if this Griffin Jacks conversation happens or not.
You also said Royce Lewis will play in a minor league or major league game before June 1st. Not only has he has stolen a base, damn it.
Yeah, played third yesterday. Didn't get a single ball to him, which was too bad. It was a 7-inning doubleheader, though. I think that they played a game 1 of a doubleheader, and then I believe he'll be in the lineup again today. And then the curious case is, do they send him back to the Twins before they leave for Houston on their getaway day tomorrow? I haven't caught wind of that, but he will at least play probably today for the Saints.
Okay.
And then will he join the team back in Minneapolis before they depart, or will he just Maybe he stays there. They got a tough roster decision, dude. This is not. I know we said Manny Margot, but like Margot's been their man against left-handed pitching this year. This is going to be a tough decision for them.
Yeah. What's funny is like they're not this like elite team with they're not the 1927 Yankees. So from the outside looking in, you're like, what do you mean it's a hard? Just get rid of someone. Just get rid of Kyle Farmer or somebody. Guys hitting $150. But every player in question has some sort of value that you maybe haven't seen yet, and like Manny Margot hasn't given you the full version of himself. But yeah, like it's Royce Lewis, so someone's got to move over because he is your best player, or him and Carlos Correa. He's one of your two best players. Okay, with that, look at these batting averages, man. Wow. This is one of the hottest starts to a Write That Down season in history. So the 2024 stats, which run Super Bowl to Super Bowl, listeners who usually have a low batting average because all they do is hunt for home runs, lead both categories, a 444 average and 6 home runs. I'm at 440 with 6 home runs. Declan's at 386 with 3 home runs. Judd at 320 with 4 home runs. And then all-time, Declan leads with a 362 batting average. Judd leads with 324 hits. Listeners lead with 61 home runs all-time. Okay. Let's get Jay in here, making his Write That Down debut. Jay, what's going on, man? Is that Anthony Barr you're repping? What's that jersey?
Oh, this is old school. This is a Matt Blair.
Barr's 55. Yeah, Matt Blair. Okay.
Matt Blair. We recently moved. I was going to pull out one. I know you guys like the obscure jerseys. I have an old 52, and it wasn't Chad Greenway. You guys got an idea who it might be?
I'm so bad with numbers. Is that Mick Tinglehoff?
No. Well, it could have been. But the one I have is actually a Kaylee Wong.
Kylie Wong, dude.
Love Kylie.
Wow.
Yes.
Did they wait? Was that custom or were they selling Kylie Wong jerseys?
They were selling them. I actually found it at a garage sale.
Dude, great garage sale find. I love me some Kylie Wong.
What is like? So we have jersey rules over the years on the Mackey and Judd show where, you can violate them at your own. We're not going to tell you how to be a fan, but we say like it's acceptable to wear a jersey of a player that's older than you, or if it's for funny, ironic purposes. And I think Kylie Wong falls into, for me, both categories. Give me, for all of us here, we'll start with Jay, a fun Vikings jersey from the past that, if it was available, you would totally rock it to a Vikings game or to a bar.
Oh, I think it would be one of the Purple People Eaters.
Carl Eller, yeah.
Or Jim Marshall.
Jim Marshall.
Yep.
I didn't pull the trigger on this when I was young, and I've always been kicking myself for it. One time at Goodwill, I saw a Mitch Berger jersey.
Oh man.
And
does it come with a half-eaten Snickers bar?
Yeah,
too?
right. It was weird. There's a Snicker wrapper just like in the bottom of the jersey. But I always kick myself for not getting it because a Mitch Berger. I mean, that's perfect. That's a punter. It was a good punter too.
Great punter. Yeah.
That would have been a fun one. I'm kicking myself. I always think anytime I go into a Goodwill, I'm dead serious. It's like one of the first things I think of because I remember that time I saw a Mitch Berger jersey and I didn't buy it. Big mistake.
Dude, that is a mistake. I would say there's been some fun, obscure tight ends in Vikings history.
Ooh, yeah.
I might go with if there was like a Carl Lester Crumpler or a Vasante Shanko jersey I could get my hands on. Jay, I think hopefully Jay is still with us. Looks like his internet. Let's put Jay in timeout for a second here, and we can catch up with him down the road in this segment. Let's first start with Judd via satellite for his first prediction. Judd has recorded his predictions. Now, I haven't heard these. Mm-hmm. He recorded these before Timberwolves Mavericks last night, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he like trading Karl Anthony Towns 3 times in these? Well, let's find out. Here's Judd's first prediction via satellite.
All right, some good old-fashioned Mackey and Judd traditional write this down. Max Kepler will be an all-star in July. Max Kepler, the Twins' right fielder, will be an all-star representing the Twins this July.
Wow. Okay, I have a dumb question. Do they still require every team has a representative in the all-star game?
No, that is no longer a thing.
Okay, so he'd have to earn this one.
You have to earn it. And he is having a very good year, I will say. Max is having a very solid season, even better than normal Kepler expectations. But for Judd to praise Max Kepler, to my opinion, is even crazier.
Yeah, 1 year ago, I'm pretty sure he was making predictions about how Max Kepler won't be on the roster after like June 10th.
Yeah. Yeah. And in
Here we
general,
are.
he has a lot of questions. I wouldn't say sour, but he has a lot of questions about this Twins core that is like still a pretty good Twins team. It's not like this is a White Sox level bad Twins team and like they're 6 games over 500, and you would think in Judd's mind they're like 10 games under.
Yeah, they're like on pace for what, 88 or
They're
90
on pace
wins.
for a really, really solid year in a very competitive AL Central, which is completely flipped. So
Positive Judd
positive Judd.
just coming in here. Okay, over to Dex here.
All right.
Oops, wrong button.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Let's try this one.
Write it down. You like writing things
By the way, I
down.
loved when I hit the wrong, my mouse, moved over the wrong button during the random Viking of the week last week. When you said Blair Walsh, a lot of the comments said, "Oh, Declan was just wide left with the prediction with the buzzer," which was great. That's a great way to frame that up. I'm gonna probably I'd snipe this from you, so I want to get this in time. But the Wolves are forcing a game 6, just simple as that. Wolves are forcing a game 6. We're going back to Dallas, but they will force it. Force
Yeah, they're going back to Dallas.
They're going back to Dallas. That's right. I forgot their home court. So they are forcing a game 6. They will win game 5.
In fact, Anthony Edwards did the same thing he did in Denver when he told the locker room attendant in Denver, we'll see you MFers back here for game 7. And apparently he ran it. So I saw a picture of this. He ran into Micah Parsons in the back, and Parsons had like a Luka jersey on, and they took a picture together, him and Anthony Edwards. And somebody asked him about meeting Micah Parsons. He said, yeah, he wears a size 14. I told him, I'll see you back here for game 6. I'll get you some AEs, some of my signature Adidas shoes.
Nice.
And so you kind of sniped me, but I came prepared.
Okay.
God, why am I'm Blair Walshing this button. Blair Walshing this button.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write this down. The Wolves will win game 5 by at least 15 points.
Whoa.
It's
All
a
right.
4.5 spread right now. Wolves by 4.5.
All right.
Now, remember, the last time these two teams played at Target Center, the Wolves had an 18-point lead at one point early.
Yeah.
So I think desperation, home court, which hasn't been that great for the Wolves in these playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a blowout in this series at some point. I could see things getting out of hand here. Positive Phil is making an appearance on Write That Down. Wolves win game 5 decisively by at least 15 points. Write it down, and then we'll see what happens in game 6.
Write this down.
Okay, let's go back to Judd via satellite.
Royce Lewis rehabbing due back soon. Write this down. Royce Lewis will have 2 or more Grand Slams in the remainder of the 2024 season. This could include playoffs as well. But, so he's coming back, and I think Mr. Grand Slam is going to pick up where he left off. So 2 or more Grand Slams in the remainder of the 2024 regular season and potentially postseason.
He is Mr. Grand Slam.
Yeah, dude. Man, can you imagine a playoff game where that dude hits a grand salami? Absolutely.
I could.
Oh, be nuts. It'd be absolutely nuts.
Doesn't Manny Ramirez hold the record for most Grand Slams? Does he have like 24 Grand Slams or something?
He might. I think, isn't Manny Ramirez the all-time leader too? Like in postseason RBI or home runs too. Like he's got another. I mean, he played in a bunch.
It's Manny Ramirez is third all-time in Grand Slams with 21. Lou Gehrig has 23. Do you know who has the most Grand Slams with 25? Off 25 different pitchers.
Whoa. I'm gonna take a weird guess here. Is it Harmon Killebrew?
No, but your
Am I in the right?
your sense is
Sniffing?
right. It's not a twin, but it is a Minnesota connection.
Okay. Oh, is it Tommy?
Nope, not he never this player never played for the Twins.
Oh, Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Write it down. You like
okay.
writing things down.
A-Rod, man.
A-Rod. Makes sense.
Okay, let's go back to Dex here, and then I think Jay. Oh, we have Jay back. Let's go to Jay here. Can you hear us, Jay?
All right. Sorry.
Jay, can you hear us? I don't think he can hear us. We'll put him back in timeout. Why don't you give us your second prediction here,
Sure.
Dex?
All right, I'll make a Twins related prediction here. He's been scuffling lately. The peripherals are all good. We actually talked to Pete Mackey after the game, after his start on Sunday, because the manager wasn't available. But write this down. Pablo Lopez in his next start will allow 3 runs or less.
Okay.
He's gonna have a bet. He'll make the people start game 1 in Houston with potentially Royce Lewis in the lineup too offensively. But Pablo Lopez, he's been scuffling a little bit. He did do this last year. All the peripherals, everything around it said he's a lot better pitcher than what the ERA suggests.
And his ERA was bad until like May, right?
Yeah. It's honestly very similar to what happened last season. But I think he's going to come back, make some proper adjustments. That Astros team is playing a lot better, by the way. But I think Pablo Lopez allows 3 runs or less in his next start. Write it down.
Okay, write this down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
You saw some frustration boiling up in Game 4. Luka Doncic at one point stepped up to Kyle Anderson, had to be separated. He was aggressively gesticulating at officials, Scott Foster and Eb Malloy. Write this down. Luka will get teed up in Game 5. Finally, the pot's gonna boil over. His insufferable, nonstop whining and complaining and crying to the officials. The crowd, it's hard to get teed up at home because, like the crowd is with you.
Yeah, for sure.
But when Wolves fans are going to be pouring down on him, I think Luka's going to get teed up in Game 5.
Okay.
So write it down.
Write this down.
Let's try Jay. You want to throw him back up on the screen here? Jay, can you hear us?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Jay, give us your first prediction here, sir.
So this is a Twins prediction. By the end of the regular season, Royce Lewis will lead the Twins in the following categories.
Wow.
Home runs, batting average, and RBIs.
Wow. Now, the batting average one is, obviously like it's a rate statistic, but the counting stats after missing 2 months.
Yeah.
So I love this prediction, man. So
Honestly,
right now he's 9 behind Jeffers for the home runs.
Yeah,
but nobody really has it.
No.
Well, Jeffers has 33 ribs, so I guess he's 32 ribs behind Jeffers too. Interesting.
Yeah, the home runs this is not really a prolific home run hitting team. The home run thing is totally in play, and even at we'll count the average. He'll accumulate enough bats, in my opinion. The RBI one's probably the toughest, though. Like having a 33 head start is going to be very tough to go. But he is the straw that stirs that drink, man.
It's funny because only one other guy has more than 20 RBI. Carlos Santana has 22, and then Max Kepler has 19. So, by the way, Max Kepler is going to have a pretty damn good June to make the All-Star game. He only has 4 home runs, 19 RBI. He does have a really nice OPS plus.
Not making the All-Star game.
Positive Judd.
Yeah.
We appreciate the spirit, but okay. Actually, Jay, why don't you also hit us with, you can play catch up here,
Write this down.
your second prediction.
All right, this is a Timberwolves prediction. The Minnesota Timberwolves will make 2 significant roster changes before the start of the 24-25 season. And meaning significant, they have to be 2 of the top 8 players in minutes played this past season.
Okay.
Perfect quantifier.
So we could there's a couple free agents. Isn't Kyle Anderson a free agent? So we could see that, but it could be like a cat trade. I know it's sacrilege to talk about that right now, but okay. And then why don't you
Write this down.
hit us with your third and final prediction here as well, Jay?
All right, in honor of Judd, the Minnesota Wild will either cut or trade 3 players before the start of next season. One of them will be a goalie.
Okay.
One of them will be a goalie. Okay.
Interesting. Oh, there we go. Jay, since you've got this platform right now.
Again.
Yeah, can you hear us? Can you hear us? I don't know. Jay's having a hard time with his connection there. We'll put it back in time. I'd love to give him a chance to,
Absolutely.
thank anyone in his life that helped get him to this point. But before we get to our final predictions and maybe Jay thanking people in his life, we'd like to thank our friends at Bachman's. In fact, my wife and we went to Bachman's just off 55 a couple days ago. There's 7 locations in the Twin Cities: Minneapolis, Apple Valley, Eden Prairie, Plymouth, Fridley, Maplewood, Cedar Acres, Lakeville. And you might think, well, Bachman's, that's flowers, right? You guys just went to go get some flowers? Well, there's definitely flowers at Bachman's. Definitely. But it's so much more. It's outdoor oasis items. Anything you could think of, from mulch to trees to furniture, accessories, lighting, you name it. Whatever you need to transform your outdoor area into a haven for relaxation and entertainment, Bachman's has you covered. Up to 40% off outdoor furniture right now. We saw some nice deals on some full patio sets when we were there. 15% off pallets of mulch and easy delivery to your home. Our friends at Bachman's are here to help you create that incredible outdoor oasis. Stop into one of the 7 locations. And a shout out to our friends at Nicolay Law, the exclusive personal injury law firm of SKOR North Podcasts. Nicolay Law knows that when you or a loved one gets hurt, ordinary life can come to a stop when there's an unexpected injury that takes place. That's where Nicolay Law comes in to make sure you get the compensation you deserve after an accident. If you've been injured, get Minnesota's local award-winning injury lawyers, Nicolay Law, nicolaylaw.com, or give them a call at 1-855-NICOLAY. Okay.
Write this down.
Judd via satellite here for his third and final prediction.
And finally, a Wolves, write that down. Wolves Pobo Tim Conley will indeed opt out of his contract with the Wolves, as is his right, but he will return to the Wolves. He will stay put for a reported raise. He's already making big bucks. He's going to make more. So there will be a report that when he comes back, he got a raise.
Yeah, it would be smart of him to just exercise that leverage, get a couple $1 million, whatever, go from there. He's a man who would, if he was a free agent, which he could be, a lot of teams would probably fire their current Pobo to hire Tim Connolly and bring in what he's built.
Write this down.
Okay, Dex, what's your third and final prediction?
All right, last one for me, another Twins prediction, similar to Judd's Kepler prediction. Write this down. The Twins will have multiple All-Stars at this year's All-Star game. So at least 2 representatives, basically.
Jeffers, right? Jeffers got him.
Jeffers is probably good. Correa's having a good year, but I think, the name, Carlos Correa, I think helps. Hell, if Joe Ryan keeps this up, Joe Ryan could 100% be an all-star. He's their ace. We talked about Pablo struggling, but if there were a playoff game to happen tomorrow, Joe Ryan's my number 1 starter, and it's not close. I saw Talking Baseball took that photo that I took of him with the cut shirt, the crocheted, I don't even know what to call it, shirt. And I talked to him a little bit more about it yesterday because he said he saw it too. And apparently he wears this shirt because it's like a marathon guy, like a runner that he follows, that he really, really likes. Of course, Joe Ryan loves marathon runners. And it's a shirt he likes to wear underneath his jersey because he doesn't like compression and Under Armour type of things underneath when he's pitching. So he likes something a little bit looser, help him breathe a little bit more. And even when he's walking around. So he basically crocheted this shirt that a marathon guy does. And he said he loved, and it's a size up. It's like an XL. He said it's even an extra size up on him because it's even looser. Some people thought, oh, it's Fanatics, and he doesn't like Fanatics, and that's why I cut up the shirt. He was like, no, it has absolutely nothing to
He's
do with
protesting
that.
The Fanatics deal.
It is simply a Joe Ryan thing that to love a marathon sprinter or marathon runner, I should say, and that's where the shirt came from.
What an interesting guy.
Very interesting guy. Super interesting cat. He's quirky, but he shoves, and he's kind of emerging into the guy that we all thought he was going to become a couple years ago. Yeah. Now that he's healthy, and the fastball too. He was clocked at 96 in the last start. He's never been that. Fastball's always been low 90s with horizontal and vertical movement. Now it has all of that plus 96, which is incredible.
The biggest thing for him is, and I'm going to knock on wood, he's not giving up the home runs. He's only given up 7 home runs all year. I feel like there was that game against the Braves, he gave up 7 home runs in the second inning.
Yep.
So good for him for getting healthy, turning it around, and for slicing his undershirt the way that he needs to be comfortable. Okay, my final prediction is a Twins prediction.
Write this down.
Write this down. Royce Lewis will homer in his first game back to the bigs, just like his first game of the year, first at bat of the year. Royce Lewis will go yard his first game back with the Twins. Write it down.
God, that's awesome.
He just rolls out of bed and hits bombs, man.
Yes, he does. And this will be, if indeed it does happen in Houston, second straight year he has made his season debut in Houston. That happened last year, too. He made his 2023 debut in Houston coming back from the ACL tear.
Well, technically his debut was a bomb. You're saying like back from the injured list.
Yeah, So like last year he made, exactly. Yeah, he likes to restart, I guess, his career in Houston. And plus, obviously had a very good playoff series against them, too. Something about the Astros and Royce Lewis, man.
Yeah. Should we see if Jay can hear us? We want to give Jay the proper. Jay, can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, we want to give you the proper send-off that we give to all of our Write That Down guests.
Yes.
Is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that helped you get to this pinnacle moment on Write That Down?
Well, first off, my eldest son, who turned me on to you guys about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And, my parents. I have suffered as a Minnesota fan my whole life. My parents, when they got married, they went on their honeymoon, and their honeymoon was to watch the Vikings play Johnny Unitas.
Wow.
In Met Stadium.
Yeah.
So I was born to be a Minnesota fan, and, like to thank them for putting me on this path, even though it's been sufferable. But I did see the 91 and 87 Twins World Series. So there is a light.
Love it, man. Jay, good luck with your predictions. Thank you for coming on, fighting the good fight through audio issues, but we made it happen. We made it to the end here, and we'll see you again sometime, all right?
All right. Thanks, guys.
There he is, Jay, guest listener predictor here on Write That Down. Minnesota Sports with Mackie and Judd, the only show dumb enough to put statistics next to our predictions.